Hello project managers, and welcome to perhaps what will be the first installment of videos for LEAD341 in the spring of 2024. I'd like to somewhat take you quickly to some of the things that I'd like you to pay attention to. On my screen, as you can see, I am sharing the announcement section of our class. Shortly after that, I'd like you to direct your attention to the course contents. In that, you will see our schedule of content. Here is where I have done the best dosification to sequence the content by week. So we have a total of 8 weeks, sort of. As you can see, it says week 7, but it's about 8 weeks by the time everything is said and done. And our weeks for this short semester are going to be starting on Monday, ending on Sunday, which is part of the reason why a few of the deadlines are set for that Sunday of their corresponding class or corresponding week. So this is the only place where you will see this schedule, so we don't have to keep chasing different ones. The only other place where you will find the deadlines is in the quiz screens. It will tell you quiz 1 is due on January 14, quiz 2 is due on January 28th, and quiz 3 is due that week of January 29th through February the 4th. Quiz 4, I like to tell you, I didn't write it down anywhere because I didn't want to confuse you. So if you didn't watch this video, you won't get a chance to get this bonus. What I have done with quiz 4 is I expanded the deadline so that you can wait until the following week to take it. The compromise is, by the following week, we're going to cover different material, which means you will have to review the materials that are going to be assessed on quiz 4. But you have a little bit more time in case you're running behind, so it won't be counted late. The second thing is every quiz in my class, you can take it up to 3 times, and the highest grade prevails. That will give you an ability to practice the content, get more familiar with it, not cheat, but definitely assimilate the content better, because at the end, I don't necessarily strive for a score, I strive for knowledge acquisition. So hopefully that will give you a chance to review the content and learn it a little bit better. Every quiz, you can take it up to 3 times, as long as it is before the deadline. So keep that in mind. And then when you go below that schedule of the course, you see the weeks. Right now I don't have anything else, so you can just go sequentially. So week 1, we're going to talk about the project management, we're going to introduce it, and we're going to talk about the people before the process. So you go to week 1, for example, and you're going to see the link to this video. Hopefully it's already posted, because I'm just making it in January. Otherwise you will probably see the one from last semester. And then here's what we have, as I call the modules. So when you go to module 1, you will have the overview as far as what we're going to cover, and then the chapters that are going to be referenced from our book. So that's another thing. The book, this is a Bible type of book, but it's really good. I strongly encourage you to keep it as a resource. It's really good. So beyond the reading, please keep it. Anyway, these modules are in soft chalk. You can complete them, and then the content will give you the idea to start working in your team and for your hat. Once you finish that soft chalk module, so let me go back to that week 1. On week 1, we also have the MBTI, and I like you to, the Myers-Briggs pretty much test indicator. I like you to follow the link that is on this chat, answer the questions, get your MBTI, your 4 letters, go to this discussion board, and then enter it. Kudos to some of you. Wow, see, some of you have already taken it. All right, so I am hoping that all 21 will be posted here at the end, and that's all you have to do. Just give me the 4 letters. You don't have to type anything else. It's quick, easy. Then the other thing that I need you to do according to the schedule, which I didn't post inside of the week, but another thing that is due also is your Microsoft training on LinkedIn. For that, I like you to go to the assignments, and also for your Oh gosh, the voice thread is not due the first week. Okay, so no worries on that one. But the Microsoft training, I put it on week 1 because, it may take you a little bit of time. So to know more about that, you go to assignments. There's no other place where that information is. In the assignments, here's the voice thread link. So you follow that and create your voice thread. And then here's your MBTI again, just in case. So you have the link to get it and where to post your letters. And then of course, here's the LinkedIn Learning course. You can follow this link by clicking on that green content. But here is what I am asking you to do and how to find it. Okay, so this is part of your participation grade. So make sure you take it so that we can add to your participation grade. 2 percentage points, actually it's 2 physical points, it's not percentage. I need to change that. Doesn't seem like it's a lot, but if you think about it, the way the grading is structured in this course, it's literal by points, right? So the hat is 35 points, your team assignment is 35 points, then participation is 10 points, the quizzes are 20 points, 5 points each. So it's very minuscule, if you will. So we're not doing percentages, so we're not doing hundreds every time. I say that because I see a couple of names that I have come across in the past, and you know that my style is I'll grade everything to 100 and then we'll weight the scores and then everything will come into an aggregate. Well, in this course is literal. So if you are going for 35 points, it's truly 35 points. So you'll see that as we continue. But all of that to say, just because it's 2 points doesn't mean you don't have to do it. It is 2 points. That could mean the difference between an A and an A plus, or even a fail to a D. So make sure you do it. Talking about bonus points, here's a good opportunity for that. By the way, while we are in the assignments tab, I want to say that these are the quizzes. You can take each one of the quizzes. I didn't put the deadline here because you have it in the assignments tab. In the content tab, right? So you have the dates when each one of these are due. Please pay attention to that because I trust that you are responsible enough to keep track of the deadlines. If you take the quiz after the deadline, it will not count. Simple. And then of course, the team project, I have it here, and I'll show you in a moment where else it is. And I also have the description for the hat here, as well as in the syllabus. So make sure you follow those. The content is exactly the same. And if you find an error, know that I'm going to try to fix it in both places, but that's precisely the point. I don't want to have to fix it in 1,500 places. So that's why you only see it in a couple of places, and that is it. So we can keep it constant. And then the other thing is, remember that your hat not only has to be submitted in Blackboard for grading, but it also needs to be submitted to the Foliothek. That is our platform of record for the SACS accreditation. You need to enter all your hats there for every class, so that when we get accredited by the SACS, they can go in and revise the fact that we have done that. If you want to know more about that, let me know, or you can just dig it up in our louisville.edu site. But it's pretty important, so make sure you do. And by the way, what I have found out is if you do not click on that link soon, and you have never used Foliothek, you will never see it. So you have to make sure you click on a Foliothek link at least once in your program career, so that you have access and free license to Foliothek, because you don't pay anything for that. Okay. Other than that, this is the assignments page. All assignments are here. Okay. And then the other thing I was telling you, the teams. I was talking about the teams. So down here you saw the teams description. I am going to go to a place that I don't have a link for just yet, but I will probably put it. You can't get to this link from your display. Only me as a professor, I can do it. But I'll probably put a link here somewhere. This is just FYI. I don't need you to work on the teams in Blackboard. I use this to select the randomness of your groups. So if you want to know what group you're in, you have 2 ways to go about it. You can go here and then, for example, literally go team by team. Group Alpha or Team Alpha. And here are the members: Ashley, Michael, Tammy, David, and Crystal. Okay. And then of course there are all these tools, but you don't have to use them. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. Anyway, make sure you are here. All of you are here. Team Alpha is the group that has 5 Everybody else has 4 participants. About the participation, it's very quick that we're going to do this class, so I need you to really stick with it. Please be engaged at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of the project. And I will send out a survey for each one of your teammates to assess your participation. Based on that percentage overall, we will take a piece of the full grade, okay? And then that'll be your individual grade for the teamwork. What that means is if you were showing up to every meeting and you contributed to every piece every time, chances are if everybody saw that and your team scores 100 or 35 points, then your net points are going to be 35. However, if you showed up at the beginning and never again, when your team submits the work, it's possibly that the work is great. The team will get 35 points, but you, because you only showed up at the beginning, you may get only 10 points, right, for that initial work. So that's how I intend to use the survey. And not to worry, basically what I am saying is if one person in the team does not participate, it will not mean that they can get the exact same grade that everybody that has worked really hard will get. And that's usually the beef that we have with teamwork, right? And then the other clarification that I like to make is, I understand that it's really challenging today. Tell me about it. Working virtually with a group of people in a class is almost like, what are we doing? But the reason why we're doing it is quite a few reasons. Number one, project management requires the interaction with people. And after the coronavirus experience, we have to, is it coronavirus? COVID? Yes, it is. See, I'm forgetting already, thank God. But after that, our world changed so much that you have to now be nimble enough as a project manager to handle the load of a project manager virtually, if needed, which means asynchronous many a times. That means you're not at the same time, you're gonna have to exchange information, files, emails, etc. Which is the reason why I'm asking you to do the Microsoft Teams training, because if you haven't used it yet, that will allow you to understand how that works. And I'll show it to you in a second. But to finish off, another reason why I'm asking you to do teamwork is because the work of a project manager relies on teams. Chances are you will have an HR team, an IT team, a subject matter team, right? Whether it's sales or advertising or product development or any of that sort. And so each one of those teams will have to work remotely as well. So there is a very important reason for you to practice that. Now that's not to say that you don't know how to do it. That is just simply to say how to do it within the context of project management. Okay, and that's perhaps the biggest reason why we're doing it that way. So that's why we're doing teams. Okay, and then the question, as I was saying, where are we going to go to interact? So I sent, or rather I posted the link to this Teams location in Microsoft Teams, where you can go and look at, hopefully, about the same thing as you're seeing here. You see then also different channels. So there's Team Alpha, Team Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Once you know what team you're on, you know what channel you have access to. Not everybody has access to all the channels. Just to make it easy, not to keep it private and secret, just simply to keep it easy. If you don't have access to that channel, that's not your team. Easy, right? When you go into that team, so I'll go to Team Alpha, for example, you have the option to start a new conversation. That's how you can communicate, aside from the texting that you can do. And this is where the most relevancy comes in. You're going to have to create files, right? I have a lot of templates on the site. I'll show you that in a second. When you're working on a template, someone can go ahead and start, and you can put it up here. Go to Files, and then upload it, right? You'll upload it here. You can even create folders, and then inside of each folder you can put the document, and I'll show you what the organization of those folders can be. Once the file is here, everybody on that team has access to modify it. Turn on the track changes. That way you know who made the change when. And then when you agree, you can just approve the changes and be done with it. And then the other benefit of doing it this way is when you have something complete, you can send me an email or a note through here, and then I'll come on over and look at your content and tell you, yes, you're on the right track, or you need to work a little bit more on XYZ. Okay? But please be mindful, I do not live in Microsoft Teams, which means if you're at 3 o'clock in the morning sending me a note, don't expect me to respond right away, right? I may be asleep, and in the morning I am working. I do have another job, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you want to see it. So usually allow at least 24 hours, please. But of course you can mention me, so at Hardy McKenzie, and then that will alert me that one of you is directing a conversation to me. If you just make a post and you say, can you please review the document we posted yesterday? I don't know who you're talking to, right? So I'm probably not going to look at it, and I don't know what document you're talking about, because there are, as you can see, 5 different groups. Anyway, that's why we're going to this platform. And the benefit of this is many companies are using Microsoft Teams. So you get a bonus, a 2-for-1, okay? That's how we're using Teams. Make sure you benefit from it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Back to the course, I was talking about the folder structure of the templates. So you go here to Tools and Templates. When you access that, you'll see that we have Define, Plan, and Control. Those are the 3 phases of project management. And when you go inside of each one of the folders, you will see templates. Ha! Imagine that. So you can go ahead and download each one of these templates that you need, work it for your team based on what you decide to do, and then post it in Teams. And then I review it constantly. Please note that I can review it as you're progressing, but I will only grade it once. So that's why I'm giving you the benefit of work on something, ask me to review it, I'll give you feedback, and when it's finished, you submit it, and at that point I'll grade. So if I grade it, that is the final grade. I won't be grading and regrading, okay? That's the only other thing that you have to keep in mind. Anyway, each one of the folders contains the templates that you may need for that section. So if you want to mimic this file structure on Teams, that makes the job of everybody a lot easier. So you don't have, the statement of work last and then the scope, the communication plan first, right? Because usually you're going to get to the communication plan and the change management plan towards the end, or planning and control, and a lot of people end up having it at the beginning just because it's alphabetical. Okay, what else can I tell you? Other than that, you have the general Q&A. I was saying in an announcement, please make sure, or I think it was my introduction, please make sure you create a thread on the question that you want to ask me, and look at what I'm doing here. I am going to subscribe. So the moment you post a question, I will get alerted via email, and then I can come here and respond to it. And the reason, once again, is because it's easier for me and more efficient for one person to ask the question and everybody get the answer, instead of me having to answer potentially 15 times, 7 times, 8 times via email the same question. Okay, so that's just good practice, and I have no doubt that you understand the benefit of doing that, because that's probably what you do at work. Okay, last but not least, in the discussion board, so you can access it also this way, you can see that we have the MBTI and we have the general Q&A. I do plan to post a couple of another set of discussions. Okay, we're going to talk about platforms that can be used in project management. One of them you already have in the schedule. It is called Miro. But I'm also going to talk about Monday.com and a couple of others, plus the traditional Microsoft project management tool. It's a platform. So anyway, we're just going to talk about them, and we're probably going to do it in the discussion board, so not to burden you. But I think this covers a lot of it. I hope you guys find this course helpful. Oh, and last thing, I did mention that I'm going to try to add these videos every week, so you have a chance to get a perspective of where we are. If you couldn't consume last week, you still will be able to, because it'll be posted every week. All right, everyone. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this course you find it helpful, and I can't wait to see your work. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.